Hey y'all, it's Ellen.
And I'm Sam.
Last year, we started journeys of self-discovery and healing. And now, we're bringing you along.
This is Woo New, the podcast.
Welcome back to Woo New. Today we're talking to our good buddy Claire, who we both met at our agency that we both left last year. She was part of the Crave team. She is super awesome, and she was just this like beautiful light spirit in our office. And I've always like kind of remembered Claire in that sort of
like
way.
a ray of sunshine.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that as Sam and I have been going on this journey and learning things like Reiki, Claire also has been on her own journey as well and has her own relationship to Reiki. And she has a really, really fascinating story with how Reiki has helped her in her own personal life and in her health. So we're going to get into all of that, but I wanted to introduce Claire.
Hello.
Yeah, Claire, will you tell us your full name and also just a little bit of background on where you're from so people know?
Yeah. Well, my full name is Claire Kiana Kamali Pua Miyamoto.
Amazing. My favorite thing about you.
So you can maybe tell I'm from Hawaii. So I'm from Hawaii. I moved away when I was like 8 and lived in Texas for a little while, and then I moved to San Diego for high school, Santa Cruz for college. After college, I moved out here to start working and met you guys, and for like a brief period, because I wasn't there too
I know.
long.
I'm so grateful that you started before we left.
I
know. Too. You guys were like such mentors. I was like, oh my god, these guys are such badasses, especially like you as the head of creative. I was like, totally a reason to stay, and then you left, and I was like, oh fuck. But yeah, I feel like it worked out way better.
Yeah. Honestly.
Like, I feel like probably couldn't have had this relationship if you were there and like learned so much about each other and our journeys and stuff.
I know. It always happens for a reason, right? Like everything timing-wise, I feel like happens for a reason. So you just kind of stumbled onto Reiki without really searching for it, huh?
Yeah, totally. So about like last February, I reached out to my aunt because I wanted to learn about Lomi Lomi, and I was like, do you know anyone in Hawaii that does Lomi Lomi? Do you know anyone in LA? And she was like, I don't, but I've been doing Reiki for a while, and it's really awesome. Like, you should try it. And she was doing it also very casually. Like, my aunt was a Hawaiian language teacher at Punahou, and so the librarian, her friend, has done Reiki like for a long time. I think she's from Japan and is just like a really dedicated practitioner. And so she was starting to like just come over to my auntie's house and do Reiki on her as like friends and have lunch and stuff. So she was like, let me ask her. And her friend had like a soul sister here, like a really close friend, and put me in contact with her, and her name is Tammy Britton, and she lives in Gardena, and she's like a master Reiki teacher, Reiki practitioner. And so I just kind of like emailed her and was like, this was my whole background, gave basically that whole story, and was like, I don't really know anything about Reiki, but my aunt likes it and I'm just down to try it if you mind. And so we got on the phone and started talking, and I met with her, and we like instantly just kind of hit it off, like had a connection right away, and I was like, this woman's awesome. And I just had no idea what to expect. I was like just going with an open mind, and I kind of had like heard the words Reiki and stuff because I was like into yoga and learned to be a yoga instructor, and that was kind of in the same realm, but I didn't exactly know what it meant or what it entailed. And I feel like I never really, like, before my mentality was like, oh, I wasn't gonna pay for Reiki if I could get like a massage or something. Like, also I think my mind was like, well, I don't know, like, how do I trust this person? Like, is there bad energy, or how do I know it's legit? Or I don't know. I just didn't know anything about it. But because I had like the mutual connection with my aunt, I like immediately felt safe and like trusted her. And I forget what she told me the first time, but I just like completely laid on the table with like an open mind. And the first time afterwards, I just felt like I had done like Molly or something. Like, so ecstatic, and like a weight was lifted on the table. I just remember kind of having like a little bit of visuals, I guess. Like, I don't want to make it sound like a crazy trippy experience because some people don't have that, but I just remember my thoughts were kind of running, and then they just really stilled, and I remember telling her like I felt like I was in like the sunken place in Get Out, you know?
Yeah.
It was just like,
it's like sensory deprivation,
yeah,
right?
Like a deep meditation. And I just kind of saw visuals like really peaceful, like a butterfly and like a pillow. And I remember,
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
I know.
That's like a
just
dream.
like, the most like my brain was just
So
being
peaceful.
like telling me to be comforted, like all of these like comforting things.
Wow, the Reiki was calling to you.
And I remember telling her like, oh, did a dog come in the room? Like I felt like there was a golden retriever specifically right next to me, or like I was just like, oh, I forgot. Do you have a dog?
That energy.
Yeah, and these are all like really calm, like peaceful things. And I was like, that was crazy. And then she was like, no, I don't have a dog, but that's interesting. Like she's heard so many trippy things. And I remember like a couple weeks later, she talked to her friend who owned the house, and they used to have a golden retriever that lived there that passed
Stop
away.
it.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like, I don't know.
He was at the house.
I think so. I don't know.
Were you
It just-
going through anything in your life at that time specifically, or you just, it was open curiosity, you just wanted to see what it was like?
Totally curious. Yeah, I mean, maybe there was, but nothing. No, I didn't have anything going on. I was just like looking for Lomi Lomi, and then got redirected to Reiki and was just totally curious. So yeah, after that, I just like felt amazing, like felt so light and just like happy. I remember I had just downloaded Beyonce's Lemonade album onto my phone, and I was driving. She was like, you know, like afterwards we like talked, and she gave me like little chocolates and water to kind of like ground myself so I didn't crash into a tree or something. So I was like so happy. But I remember just like taking the coast back to Santa Monica and just like listening to Beyonce and like so stoked on life. But yeah, so after that I was like, this is something really powerful. Like I don't understand it, but I feel good. I don't know why. And so when we were talking, I told her that I was a graphic designer and she needed help with her website and like logos and stuff. That was like the vehicle for us to gain like such a close relationship. And she's like family now. I call her like my Reiki mama or like an auntie or something. Like she is like totally family. So because of that, we were just doing trades. So I was working on her website and doing her logo, and then I would come in for treatments and stuff. And I had done the Reiki 1 class, and she had given me attunements and stuff, and to kind of like really deepen my practice. And I was doing like Joshin Kokyoho, which is like a meditation daily, and like practicing on myself. And yeah, I was just doing that for a while. But a year later, after doing all of that, this February, I found out that I had a brain aneurysm, and that just kind of rocked my world. Like before, Reiki was just like I always felt good, and it was kind of an exchange. I was doing work. I just remember when I was doing her website, I just felt so pulled to do it, almost obsessively working and designing and learning about all of this stuff, because she had someone else working on the site, and I just remember being like, no, I want to take this. And like I was like sending her logo designs and website stuff even before we had worked out the trade or anything. But yeah, so this February I found out that I had a brain aneurysm, and I found out because my mom's mom passed away of one. It ruptured before I was born, when my mom was 12. And my mom had one and had surgery on it when I was 12. So like growing up, I knew to check for that, and that it's obviously hereditary. So I kind of just went as a baseline like checkup. I hadn't gone in like 8 years, and I was not expecting, like 8 years ago they said I was totally fine. So I was super not expecting anything to come back. And I just remember like looking at, it was an email. My doctor called me right after and was like, oh, you know, we looked at the MRI and it looks like you might have like a small saccular aneurysm on your anterior like all of these words that I didn't understand, and it was just like hit me like a ton of bricks. Like I had never been unhealthy really in my life. I never like gone through any type of like health issues that were serious, so that was just like completely foreign to me. And yeah, so that was crazy. So before, like my relationship with Reiki was just super casual and out of curiosity and just like spiritual development, I guess. But after that, it was like healing. Like I was going to Reiki, not because I had the intention of getting rid of it. I didn't even honestly think that was an option. It was just like kind of coping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really powerful story. And that really hit home for me too, because my mom's mom passed away from stroke. And my 12-year-old cousin had a brain aneurysm that ruptured when she was 12. Oh. And that was like just before I moved to LA.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was she okay?
She, thank God. It was a lot of recovery for her, like a lot. And she spent quite a bit of time in the hospital and then in physical therapy afterwards. But she's such a huge inspiration because coming out of that, she could have had somebody sitting in classes with her, like helping her take notes and stuff like that. And she pushed through all of it. And she was like, no, I'm going to do this all myself. And she's in college and she's dating and she's like beautiful and fantastic now. But those things are really, really scary. So when I heard from Ellen actually that you had found that out, my heart sank for you.
Yeah.
But then also thank God for Reiki.
Yeah.
It almost feels kind of like you were meant to discover
it.
Totally.
Or it was meant to find you before
you
discovered
that happened.
this. Yeah.
Totally.
You know, and kind of set you up as like a course of action. Were you doing anything to, I guess from the Western sense, were you told to do anything to kind of help with that, or were you just basically waiting for surgery?
I remember asking like, what should I stay away from? What should I do? And they're basically like, oh, you know, like Mediterranean diet is the best heart healthy diet, and regular exercise and not too much alcohol, and stay away from like stimulants, so I couldn't like go do like crazy cocaine or anything. So that was kind of basically it. The doctor, he didn't have any recommendations holistically or anything, so he was just like, this is it, you know, it's small. I remember going into his office with my parents and my brother, and him just putting like the picture of my brain on like a big screen, and was like, okay, this is your aneurysm, it's small, it's right here, it's saccular, it's on your anterior communicating artery. It's a little tricky to get to, and I think like the best course of action is to do a cerebral angiogram and take better pictures of the aneurysm so we can figure out what our surgery options are. And basically the surgery options would be, it's basically on your vein, it's this little bubble or like balloon that develops, and it's bad because that little balloon has thinner walls, so if the blood is traveling through there, it can keep growing and is at risk for rupturing, which then could lead to a stroke or death. So he was like, we need to take pictures of this to see the structure of it and see if we can clip it, which meant on the outside of the vein, kind of put like a little clip there that stops it off, closes up the balloon, and then the rest of that balloon will kind of just dissolve off by itself. Or you go in, and it's called coiling, where they thread a little gold coil through your artery, and go all the way up to your brain and just kind of plug it up and coil this little thread and just kind of block it up. Then your blood will create like a clot and just kind of block that up. And so we were kind of hoping for the coiling one. It sounds gnarlier, but at least you can go, it's like pretty minimally invasive versus the clipping one that they have to like full on cut your skull. I know he was like, I don't want to put the cart before the horse or anything, but I was just like asking him like, okay, so you think like I could do the coiling and stuff? And he was like, like, I don't know, actually, like, based on what I'm seeing, it's likely that it would be the clipping, and we were not ready for that. Like, my mom had the clipping, and she was just like, that was the hardest thing in my life. Granted,
the recovery is so tough. Yeah.
Yeah, because your brain is swollen, like you taking out your skull and like drilling into, like, it's just gnarly. And I remember my mom going through that, and it was hard, and she had migraines, and she kind of really got into meditation after that as a way of dealing with the pains of migraines. But yeah, so after that first meeting, like, we were not expecting him to say that, and we were thinking like, because it's small, like we could do the easier one. He wanted to do the cerebral angiogram the next week or something. But I had a trip planned with my cousins to go snowboarding in Big Bear, and he was like, you're fine, like, don't worry about this, which is like easy to say. But he was just like, you're young, like, don't worry about this, we'll do it when you get back. You don't have to change your plans, like, go have fun in the mountains. And I was like, okay. So I like went to the mountains and stuff. We didn't have the angiogram when it was scheduled to be, and our scheduling just wasn't working out, and so it was just like super frustrating. So for 2 months we couldn't figure out his schedule, and like I was out of town or something, and he was only in Santa Monica once a month or something crazy, or I don't know.
It's almost like that was divine intervention.
It
looking
was
back,
it
right?
was like, looking back, it was so frustrating because I was like, how the hell
you're like, this is my life.
I was like, there's like a threat in my brain, and why is this so difficult?
And they're so casual about it.
Yeah. And I was like having to work with him because he was like the radiologist, so he would do the angiogram, but then also the doctor that he was about to pass me off to do like the larger surgery, which was like the gnarly one. So it was like all this scheduling conflicts. So basically for about 2 months, I was just like living with the knowledge that I had an aneurysm. And so during those 2 months, like, I was just like completely devoted and just like so grateful for Tammy and Reiki, and going like maybe once a week or every other week or just often. I never thought that it could get rid of it or anything. I just thought it's making me feel better, like at least being at peace with the situation.
Do you remember like what specifically she was working on with you at the time? Like what part of was it your heart? Was she mainly like kind of working on your head?
She would work all over. Yeah. Wherever. She's very like intuitive. I don't remember any concentrated areas or anything, but it was also just like coming and sitting with her and talking, and like just I remember one time I came over and she was just like asking me how I was doing, and I was like, oh, I'm okay. And then we started to really talk, and I just like broke down. And it was just those kind of moments too, where of just dealing with like grief and having that too. During those 2 months, like I had my grandpa in Hawaii pass away.
Wow.
And I had my cat pass away, like tragically. She was hit by a car. So it was like,
I'm sorry,
the darkest 2 months like of my life. And she just totally helps me through that, and Reiki like completely at least made me feel more at peace with things. And so the day of the angiogram, I had my mom, my stepdad, my dad, boyfriend, who through all of this was just like also such a rock. I mean, like my whole family. I could not have done it without all of their support and reassurance and just like love and boundless support. And my brother's girlfriend Sam, and my boyfriend's parents, and then also Tammy, my Reiki mentor and her friend, who's also become like family. I had like this whole posse walking into the hospital. And yeah, so on the day of, like, we had probably like 10 of us in there, and I was just like kind of getting ready, and I was also just kind of like on a high because I had mostly everyone I loved in one room together. So I was just like kind of really excited, and also trying to put on like a brave face so no one else was worried. And like maybe an hour before the procedure, she came in and gave me Reiki. And I just remember, like, I was just so cold before she came in because I hadn't eaten. You couldn't eat, and I was supposed to go in at like 9 a.m. But then the person before me had like a difficult surgery, and so it got pushed to 11. Then it got pushed to 1. So like hadn't eaten, can't drink anything.
And it's so cold in hospitals.
So cold, and just like incredibly nervous, and also just excited to spend time with my family. And she like came in and gave me Reiki, and I just remember feeling like I was deflated before, and she was like filling me up. My body felt warm again, like all of the blood kind of went back into my hands and my feet, and I just felt like really calm and peaceful. So she gave me like a treatment right before, and then all of my family came in the room, and I just said bye, waved to them, and then went into the surgery room. And I remember like laying down on the table. They told me that I could like play whatever music I wanted to listen to, so I put on Erykah Badu. and then yeah, so then the anesthesiologist came in, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna give you your cocktail." And the thing with like the angiogram is that you're semi-awake.
Conscious sedation.
Yeah, because they need to tell you like, okay, hold your breath and don't breathe, don't move, don't swallow. Don't breathe, don't move, don't swallow. Because they're navigating, they do a tiny incision right by your groin, and then they're navigating this camera all the way up to your brain to take pictures of the aneurysm. And then they put contrast dye in your arm to like make all of your veins contrasty, and then they have this camera that goes around and takes really good pictures. So you need to be awake so you're not moving, and so that you can hold your breath to be really, really steady for the picture.
Oh my God.
So like, I was kind of in like this crazy twilight world, but I could kind of like hear what was going on at a certain point once I woke up a little. And I guess apparently I was telling the surgeon that I liked his mustache a lot, because the first time I had met him, he didn't have a mustache, and then on the day of the surgery, I was like, whoa, he has a mustache. And then like I guess I was profusely being like, you know, your mustache looks really good. And like the first time we had met, he like had said like, oh, I can't do this date because my wife is in surgery. And for some reason that little nugget stayed in my head, and I was like, is your wife okay? How was her surgery? And just like kept asking.
God, I love that.
I guess I was like making all of the nurses crack up. He was like, I remember him being like, okay, we're gonna ask you to not talk anymore because the doctor has to do work. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Oh my God, you're so sweet.
I was just like, your mustache looks good. I hope your wife's okay. But anyway, so like I was kind of in a twilight zone so I could remember, and I remember feeling when they had the contrast go up my arm, and it felt warm, and I was like, should it be feeling warm? And just like asking all of these questions, and every time that they would like take the picture, I could see everything light up. Like I could see
in your brain?
In my brain, I could see like,
stop it,
as if it was like the synapses or the veins or something. And
almost through your eye, your optical nerve.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I remember afterwards like painting
those
a
are
picture.
your neural pathways.
Yeah.
I remember painting a painting after to just like blot down what I saw, and it was like deep, deep, deep indigo. What I saw was like all of my nerves like bright gold yellow, just like lighting up. So every time he'd be like, don't breathe, don't move, don't swallow, I would hear the camera go by and like just everything light up.
Oh my gosh.
So it was crazy. I remember hearing him be like, that's strange, and keep doing stuff. That doesn't need any clipping or coiling. I remember hearing that and just being like, fuck, they found like another one. But it doesn't, we don't have to worry about it or something. And I just remember him being like, yeah, I don't know, let's try it again. And I was supposed to be on the table for an hour to 90 minutes. And I was there for 3 hours because they kept going back, triple checking, going every single route to just make sure the whole brain was fine. And they came out to my family and they're all in the waiting room and he was just like, so, I don't want to get your hopes up, but we can't find an aneurysm. And they're just like, what? Also, what do you mean don't get our hopes up? Yeah. So he was like, we're just going to do one last pass, but I guess it was just like a loop in the vein or a curve or something that got misread as an aneurysm.
Wait, does that happen?
I don't know, because, I mean, I was on the table and I heard him be like, yeah, that is so strange. He seemed shocked. He seems like, that's odd. And
oh my God, Reiki is so powerful. It's so crazy.
And yeah.
I can imagine too that a lot of that, so I've been geeking out on quantum physics because
oh dude.
Yeah, it's just like I'm so fascinated by it, but a lot of it is, you know, all the books that I've read touch on intention and prayer. And I can imagine that Reiki, like, mixed with your whole, like, support community of your family and all your loved ones and everybody praying for you. Yeah. That must have been, like, a really, really magical connection.
I truly believe in that. Before that, I feel like I didn't really understand prayer. And after that, I was, like, a believer. Like, I truly believe that I had a really, really, really strong foundation of just, like, family and friends that were praying and sending, like, their best thoughts and positive energy, and I swear that totally helped.
Oh my gosh.
I 1,000% believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
Is that when you started studying?
Studying Reiki after that. The year before I had done the Reiki 1 class, so I was just, like, studying from then. But then this happened, like, not too long ago, maybe like 6 months ago. So I've just still been on my journey with Reiki. It's it's like I was, like, looking at the Reiki manual today, and Shoden level, like, Reiki 1 is all about just, like, self-healing. So I think I'm still, like, on that journey.
That's really special. You're gonna have such a dynamic relationship with Reiki when you finish this process. I mean, not that this process is ever finished. Reiki is a lifestyle, right?
It totally is.
Yeah.
That's really incredible. That's a really incredible story.
I know.
Yeah, I remember afterwards, like, meeting with the doctor and just being like, does this happen? Is this easily mistaken? And he was just like, oh yeah, you know, it can happen. Like,
flippant.
Yeah,
I hate
super
how casual doctors are sometimes. It's
super
so
casual and just like, okay, yeah, I know. I guess it just was a misread, but it's crazy because, like, he doesn't read it. It's the MRI technician that reads it. So it's not like anyone had a predisposition or saying, like, okay, this girl, I'm looking for an aneurysm or anything.
Yeah.
Like, that person read it. Then he's the radiologist, and he was like, yup.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and they triple check it before they tell you, I would imagine.
Yeah, and then he was just
then we
went through the whole thing of, like, cutting me open and doing a angiogram for him to be like, oh, oops, no, it's totally fine. Yeah, this happens.
That's frustrating.
Like,
that's an understatement. But.
Like, a miracle.
Yeah.
It really was. Like, I was in such disbelief because after the angiogram, like, the very next day we had scheduled to meet with the bigger surgeon. Like, the next morning I was going to do the angiogram and then, like, hobble over and meet the surgeon to talk about, like, all right, what's the game plan?
After learning
what
they needed to learn from the angiogram.
Like, that day, I just remember being like, so we cancel the meeting tomorrow? He was like, yeah, you're fine. Come back in a year just in case. But I was just like, what? Like, my whole plan I was so bummed. I was like, oh, man, I can't surf this summer. I'm not going to have a good summer. I'm going to be, like, in bed. I had all these things. Like, all my friends had given me, like, little crafts and, like, things to do. I was just, like,
so
thinking
sweet.
of ways to, like, cope with being bedridden
Yeah.
and just preparing for recovery. And then all of a sudden it was just like a huge weight was lifted, and everything was clear, and I was just so ecstatic, and just felt like I had like a lease on life. I was just like busting out of the seams.
How did it change your life in terms of like the decisions that you were, how you were living from that point on?
Question.
Yeah, it definitely like made me stop and just take into account what is like truly important. Yeah. Yeah. It made me like want to dedicate to helping others and help myself.
I'm like super emotional right now. I think because I'm really hormonal too. But
I mean, it's so crazy. Like, afterwards, I was just like so stoked on life, so dedicated to just enjoy life. And I think since then, like, it's really easy to get wrapped up in the routine, and I kind of have a little bit.
Totally, yeah.
Kind of got a little like swept up, but
I think that's normal. You
Yeah.
know, like I think this is like a constant lesson that I feel like all of us have to relearn and relearn and relearn, and you know, not that you have to have something so drastic as an aneurysm to wake you up all the time, but
Yeah.
you know, it's like I think it's hard to keep that in focus when there's so many other things that are competing.
There's a new fire every day.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think this summer I got a little swept up in the putting out fires and stuff. But yeah, right after I was just like so inspired and just wanted to like love everyone. I remember telling my friend that like my relationship with my boyfriend, it was so solid, so strong, because he totally had my back and was just like, he had started a Google Doc that was like, aneurysm, psh, we got this, and like all of these like articles of like good foods to eat, like good foods for your blood. Like, we were just like a solid team. And I just remember telling my friend, like, there is just no time for anything else but love.
Yeah.
And that's how life should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What an amazing lesson. I mean,
Oh my god, you're so like wise beyond your years. It's so true though.
yeah.
But actually, it's also, in a weird way, its own gift, that
Mm-hmm.
experience, because you know that now,
Yeah.
Right.
which is amazing.
It's like an awakening.
Yeah.
You know?
And even if you get swept up in things, like where you come back to, your baseline is still, your vibration is so much higher,
Yeah.
because you have a different perspective and a different level of gratitude and love.
Totally. Yeah. After that, also, like, I've just been really focused on, like, Reiki and healing myself and, like, moving my life in the direction that I want to move it, that I want to see my life years down the road. How do I want to set up, like, what is success to me? How do I want to, like, build a family, and where is that, and all of these things. And it also, like, started a whole deeper connection with, like, my Hawaiian heritage and culture. Losing my grandpa at that time was like a huge shift in our family, because he was just like our rock, and then that happened too, and then this, and my aunties had made like these little meditation cards, kind of called aloha cards. During that time that I was just coping with having an aneurysm, I was doing daily meditation and pulling a card and stuff. And so afterwards I was like, hey, like, let's revamp these. And so we just started like connecting on that level, which led to like getting such a deeper relationship with her, because she's also like a Hawaiian teacher of Hawaiian history, spirituality, ho'oponopono, hula, all of these things. And so she brought me on as an alaka'i, or like a leader, to really learn our own like family history and like a history of being Hawaiian, and like have a deeper understanding with that. And then my other auntie, who brought me into Reiki, who is a Hawaiian language teacher, I've been like having weekly classes with her to learn Hawaiian language. And it's just this really like crazy moment was the catalyst to have such a deeper connection with my family than I did before, where it's just like, we're always close, we have a huge family, but have this time together to just like talk and really get to know each other and have like quality time and learn about my family's history and what it means to be Hawaiian, and the responsibility, or like what they call kuleana, what that means to be Hawaiian, and how do we take this forward. And yeah, so it's just been a really crazy catalyst.
That's awesome too, because I always feel like the kind of connection that you're talking about is just so much deeper. You see each other on like holidays, and it's so much more of a soul connection, which is really beautiful. And not everybody has the opportunity or the ability to connect with their family in that way. It's like, it's so special. I feel like learning about your Hawaiian culture and your family background, all these things, I've always found the Hawaiian culture to be really healing, and it seems like a no-brainer. Like whenever you go into the islands, there is something that, I don't know, it's like as soon as you step off the plane and you're wrapped in that sort of warmth, it always has
you
always
feel
felt
the
like
energy.
It feels like a hug. And I've been
I love that.
It really does. It feels like the island is hugging you.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever went to Kauai, I went by myself. I was suffering. I was getting through a breakup. I had just gotten...
I mean, that's a suffering in itself.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but instinctively I wanted to go to Kauai and just heal. And all I did for 4 days was like walk on the beach and on the cliffs and just be in the water and, and just stare, really like spend hours staring at the water. And there was just something so just therapeutic about being there. And it's not like I necessarily did anything, I wasn't meditating at the time. I wasn't like doing any like specific healing, but it's like literally just being bathed in that energy was just so, it's like magical, you know? It was really like soul healing.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's super powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel like it's like aloha, and I think the word has become very mainstream, but aloha is very sacred and super powerful, and that's the reason why people love Hawaii, and they can't exactly describe it or explain it, but it's such a powerful and sacred thing. Like aloha, alo is like the front of you, like you. Ha is like the breath of life. So to say aloha is like you are recognizing the other. Like you are recognizing your breath of life, like your essence. And it's such a powerful thing from where it stems from. So that is like so deeply embedded in what it means to be Hawaiian. Yeah. And our relationship to each other and the land and like the spiritual realm is all based on that like solid principle.
Yeah, it's like literally everything that I think Sam and I have been talking about recently. She used the term yesterday that I had never heard before, the Christ consciousness,
which I had never. we all have talked about it in different ways, but I had never heard of Christ consciousness specifically before.
Yeah, and I was like, what is that? Is that like the awakening? Is that like the consciousness? Is that, well, it is kind of the enlightenment or nirvana or the awakening.
Yeah, it's like, the one, like it is ether. It is everyone and everything and nothing, and like the plane that we and the energy that we all exist on that connects us to each other. Which is kind of a big concept to wrap your head around, but it's really cool to see that all of these different cultures are coming at this in a very different way, but they're all coming back. It's like they're coming back home to the same place.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. That's what I've learned with like learning all of these different modalities, is that they all have like the same nugget of truth at its core.
Yeah.
And they all kind of just have different ways of getting to that. Even with Reiki, like, there's a lot of similarities with Reiki and, like, Hawaiian cosmology. Of just, like, the haras. And in Joshin Kokyoho, you breathe into the the hara, just like at the root, right by your belly. And in Hawaiian cosmology, that's your na'au, that's your gut, your like seat of your intuition. And even in like yoga and Hinduism, that's like, that is the chakras. Like there's all of these different ways of and names for things, and they all have like the same truth.
Many ways up the mountain, right? It's been really interesting to learn about all these different things and understand the vocabulary of each one, because learning Reiki and then also studying breathwork and then some of these other things that we've been experiencing has brought me full circle back to a better understanding of my Christianity, like what I was raised with, more so now than ever before. I grew up in the church and I was very much like going every Sunday, taught Sunday school, that was like my life when I was in high school and even a little bit into college. But I don't think I really had the kind of understanding, the experiential understanding of it that I do now, having studied and had like developed a relationship to so many of these other things like Reiki and life force energy. And you know, we've talked a lot about past lives and, you know, the soul's journey and Christ consciousness, the oneness, the awakening, all these different terms. But it's like, it really is interesting to now understand Christianity through that lens.
Yeah. What I think is so cool is that it's almost like the three of us have had these external experiences and individual experiences with Reiki, but even as we sit here and we talk about it, it's like there are so many powerful and consistently powerful things with Reiki. Like for me, Reiki has, in a very similar way to you, Claire, totally opened up this whole new doorway to my family heritage and sort of, you know, the Druze religion and what it means to be Druze and, you know, what it means to have come from Lebanon and like living in this space of spirituality that in my childhood we didn't really have, because for a lot of reasons. But I used to say like, oh, I'm spiritual but I'm not religious, because we didn't actually like go to church and practice religion in a formal way. But I had no idea what that meant. And I think it's so cool that Reiki, it's like the life force energy can take you anywhere, but it takes us back to our roots.
Yeah, it
every
really
single
does.
one of us, it brought us back to our roots and back to an understanding of like the universal connection we all share.
Yeah,
it's really, really powerful and beautiful in that way.
I know.
And it's so unexpected how it happens.
It is so unexpected.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this meditation I had a couple of months back, but I told Sam this story about how I was sitting in the morning and like I haven't practiced Christianity in decades, but I was sitting there in the morning, I was meditating, and all of a sudden for some reason the parable of the prodigal son came into my head, which is all about this guy who leaves his home, leaves his parents, and like goes out and like parties, just like lives life to the fullest, and then at the not end of his life but in the middle of his life he comes back home and he's like penniless and he's like completely just broken. And his father like accepts him back in his home, you know, and it's almost like coming home to yourself in a sense. Like the whole story is really about
or,
like,
you know, also known as a millennial.
Yes, that too. Noted, yeah, and touche.
You're like, wait, I know this.
I know, it's like, wait a second.
Sorry, no, that's a beautiful story, but that was so good.
But yeah, it was like there was a moment when I was like, I feel like somehow through meditation, I think I was doing the Gaosho meditation and all this like this Reiki practice when that came into my head, and I'm like, holy shit, I feel like I am coming home to myself. You know?
I had
like,
the exact same thoughts, the exact same words went through my head on Saturday when I got home. I was like, I feel like I had a coming home.
Yeah. It's emotional, you know? I remember crying my eyes out, and I'm like, and it felt good, but also kind of like, wow, I really missed you. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I was almost like telling myself, I can't believe that I have been ignoring you for so long. It was almost like coming home to your soul in a sense.
It's like so warm.
Yeah.
I think it's also a lot because we do deal with so much stress now, and we deal with so much chaos. I mean, exactly what you went through, Claire, like this huge life-changing experience, and then even still, it's easy to get wrapped up in the stress and everything happening, and like, that's why I started practicing Reiki, really, because I saw, you know, you had taken your 1 and 2, and of course we spoke with Sid, who's like got such a special place in my heart now because I love her so much, who's my teacher. And from a practicality standpoint, because I did the same thing. I had my first Reiki session. I was like, oh my God, this is so mind-blowing. This changed my world forever.
When you were on your when you were on the table, right?
Yeah, and then for a year I kind of blew it off because I was like, okay, but now what?
Yeah.
You know, and then you had gotten trained and all these other things were happening or certified, and I could see your energy shift. It was just more open, it was more grounded, it was more thoughtful and intentional, and I was like flying around like a fucking kite, and I was like, somebody ground me, please.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like, that's initially what I started it for, and then even when we had gone to that intuitive development workshop, and even at that point I was like, I'm not going to go all the way to master level. And then it was like everything. It was like spirit animals, like messages, angel numbers, like praying mantises above my doorway, you know, like all these crazy things. And yes, I still use it every day, morning and night, for grounding, because I'm just not a grounded person, I'm realizing. And it's an incredibly helpful tool for that, but it's so much bigger.
Yeah.
It's so much more.
It's really a doorway, right? It's like a doorway to understanding. And I don't know if I'll ever practice Reiki in a professional sense, but I will say that learning it, you know, and I did a weekend course where I did Reiki 1 on Saturday and Reiki 2 on Sunday, and I was attuned and, you know, the whole 9, but I've been practicing ever since. And for me, it's been sort of this Reiki, and the attunement was like a doorway, like, here you go, walk on in, you know, and then from here, that's where all the discovery has been.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's opening me up to be able to receive all these other messages, lessons, connections.
Me too.
Right?
I feel that a lot.
Yeah, I think that's what's so cool about Reiki is that it's all about you healing yourself. And you are your own healer, and like coming back to the true one self, and it's such a gentle healing, and I think that's why it was so cool too, because with my aneurysm I knew that I was like, this is like gentle healing, like it can be good for those kind of gnarly scenarios. And I was talking to Ellen the other night, and we were talking about Reiki, and she was just like, you know, it's really cool because it takes you to that parasympathetic nervous system where you can drop down, and once your body is operating at that level, it can start healing itself. You just need to like drop down and relax enough to let your body heal itself.
That's so true.
It's like you're opening your meridian lines.
Yeah, very much so.
It's so cool. I know. For me, it's been such a teacher in just learning how to reconnect with my intuition. And it's such an evolution still, but there is no way that I'd be able to do most of the other things that we're doing now if I wasn't doing this work with Reiki, because it just felt, it was so blocked, you know, my mind was like going too fast all the time. So it's like, I'm so grateful to it for that, especially.
Can I ask you guys if I experienced this yesterday for the first time, or maybe I've been experiencing it and I just haven't noticed, but I was practicing Reiki last night, and I had my hands up, and I know everybody experiences energy a little bit differently. For me, usually can feel tingles and things like that in my hands, but this time what I was doing was I was breathing in through my nose and I was breathing out through my mouth, and it felt like my hands were literally breathing in and then breathing out. And I was like doing it for a while because I'm like, oh my God, I actually feel like air is coming out of my hands, you know? But it's never been anything I've noticed until literally last night. It's like, oh my God, I actually feel like I have mallows on my hands right now, you know?
You should do chokurei on your palms, and then sit with it when you can feel it like that, and you'll see how powerful that can get. It's really interesting. It's been a really fascinating journey because, like, I feel everything physically.
Yeah, I feel everything internally.
Yeah.
Very internally.
So for me, it actually became a really good learning lesson for me because it was like I wasn't sure how to sort of like intuit the Reiki and what it needed.
Yeah.
But I knew I could feel my hands, and so I was focusing a lot on my hands. But then actually in my last session with Sid, she helped explain to me that she was like, here's the thing is like when you're working on Reiki, the Reiki knows where to go. You can trust the knowledge of the Reiki. And when you are working on someone or even on yourself and you're focused on your hands, it's like subconsciously your ego steps in because you're trying to do something.
Oh, I see.
You know, where it's like then it really should be the Reiki is just flowing through you. And your hands are out, and yeah, you're working on yourself or you're working on someone else, and the Reiki is channeling through you to help heal them as well. But it's like your focus. She had to sort of like help me like reset that because at first it was like that was the only place I felt it, and now that I'm becoming more attuned to it, I'm practicing more, I feel it other places. But that was still solely where my focus was going, was my hands, because that's where I feel it the most sharply, I should say.
You're like using it as like detectors almost, right?
Yeah. And I was like leading with my hands when the Reiki would like tell me where it needed to go. But now I feel it in my whole body, and I actually can feel it turn my core.
Cool.
Like right around my sacral chakra. And I can still feel the heat and the energy coming off of my hands, but that's not my focus. My focus is to make sure that the Reiki is channeling through me from, you know, through the universe, like down into the earth. So that, because one of my other big lessons is that I need to set better boundaries, and I need to learn how to channel the energy of the people that I'm working on, and then not inadvertently absorb it because I'm focused. I'm like trying to accomplish a task versus letting the Reiki like do its work. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it is actually a really big lesson for me in my last session, and every day I'm so thankful that I'm doing a one-on-one like apprenticeship style with Sid, because I mean, Lord knows I've got a lot of questions. I always have a lot of questions. So she's just been like an angel from heaven. She's like a guiding light. But yeah, long story short, I do feel it there.
No, it's really interesting. And I was practicing this morning. I have a friend who's going through a rough time with an aging parent. And so I asked her permission if I can do Reiki on her while she's overseas. And so I was practicing my distance Reiki, which quite frankly, I don't know if anything's really happening. I haven't actually talked to her. But today what I was able to do, or what I was able to feel, it was faint, but I felt like something was calling me to work specifically on her heart and her gut, her sacral, but yeah, her gut, and then also her head. And so I was kind of sending the Reiki to her, like distance Reiki. I stopped for a moment and I just wanted to connect to her, I guess, on an emotional level. And so I just like was really focused on her, and I felt this wave of like, it's almost like a sadness mixed with a fear and mixed with like a little bit of anxiety, you know, just kind of come in. It was really faint, but you know, I actually want to reach out to her and ask her if like, you know, and tell her what I felt and just what had happened. But it was the first time that I was able to connect with somebody like that, I guess, distance.
Yeah,
or, you know,
your heart energy was connected.
I think that's what it probably was.
Wow.
So it's just like a little peek into that doorway, and I want to investigate further, but I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Things get interesting real fast.
Yeah.
I love it though. I'm so excited to see where the Reiki goes. And that's why I'm like, at first I was like, I'm not going to go to my master level. And now I'm like, Sid, please have me. Please have me. Please take me into the world.
It feels like this is your journey. It feels like, you know, everything is like really starting to happen as you explore this. So
yeah,
it's exciting.
Energy healing is really, really powerful.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe to people.
You have to experience
you can't.
it.
You can't, but you really get led to, like we were all led to it. It's so hard to describe Reiki. So when I had a friend that was like going through a really hard time, and I referred her to Tammy, and she was like, what should I expect? And I was like, I don't know how to like describe it. It's like different for everyone.
Totally.
And like even to describe Reiki now is so like abstract, but somehow we're all led to it.
Yeah. There's a reason. There's always a reason.
Yeah, I remember when we first learned about it, actually hearing Susanna, I think, was the one who was like, the Reiki always finds you. And since then, it's like every practitioner that we've worked with or even talked to is like, the Reiki, it'll find you. When the student is ready, like, the Reiki will appear. Yeah. And it's like, man, it's really true. I mean, and it gives you like a whole different appreciation for life force energy and this like connection that we all have.
Yeah. It's rad to be able to share these stories and be able to connect because they are so different, and because I feel like every time I talk to you or anybody who's like studying it at our level right now and still like learning, and I know you'll never finish learning, but it's really cool to see like where everybody's journey is taking them, and what they're experiencing. Are you feeling in your hands? Are you seeing colors? Are you like feeling emotions? Like all these things. But I think it makes us realize just how expansive this world is, which is really, for me, a game changer to have that kind of like perspective on your life in relationship to this like greater universe and this connection,
Yeah, I feel like when little things happen that would normally have like really ruffled my feathers, I can be so much more zen about them.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, that's not how I was hoping this would go, but all right.
Yeah, it puts everything in perspective.
Yeah, really does.
Well, thank you so much, Claire, for being with us today. This was such a treat for us just because
we're so lucky.
Yeah, we've been so fascinated by your story, and we love you to death. And you've been a huge supporter of Daughters and just all the work there. And so
you guys are so awesome. I'm so stoked for you. Like, I
can't wait to see where this goes.
I know.
Cheering from you from the sidelines. This is awesome. Yeah.
Not from the sidelines, girl. You're part of the community.
I know.
Yeah,
man. You
part of the
are.
sisterhood.
I love it.
Music provided by Chromatics, courtesy of the Italians Do It Better record label. Music provided by Chromatics, courtesy of the Italians Do It Better record label.